Hey everybody, welcome to Fresh Out the Box Does TTRPG Overviews. I am the Game Master, Johananon.
I am the co-host, Casualty CDG, and today we're looking at Icons, the spooky superhero game, if you want it to be spooky. Anything could be spooky.
Hey, just turn the lights off. It's fucking terrifying.
I was going to say depending on where you put it, but yeah, turning the lights off and putting it somewhere mysterious is spooky indeed.
Ooh.
Icons is by Steve Kenson. You know what I think is fun about that?
What's fun about that?
Mutants and Masterminds is also by Steve Kenson.
Yes! So we've already done one of these games from Steve Kenson. Today we are going... So, if you want to know what you're getting into today, we are going to overview Icons, a game that Steve Kenson himself sent to us. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
To overview. So we're excited to take part in this. Our into Mutants and Masterminds love it. Mutants and Masterminds is a well-received superhero TTRPG. Excited to see how Icons differs. But yeah, so we're gonna read it. We're gonna learn it. If you want to read and learn with us, and at the end of it, we will give it a out of 10 rating. That's what you're in for today. So, hey Vampire Bites, hello Rise of Mages. Fantastic to have you guys. What is Icons? That's the question. So Icons is a game from Steve Kenson about superheroes. It is a superhero system. It looks to be published by Green Ronin Publishing, who we are affiliates of, and we did not know this was published by them. And also Ad Infinitum Adventures. They got both the logos there, so that's pretty cool. We are excited for this one. I love the cover.
I think it was published by another company even before that.
Possibly. A lot of these superhero games seem to get passed around. Rise of Mages sold.
What I will say about Icons, though, is even though it came out in 2010 and got republished in 2014, Steve Kinson is still himself to this day supporting this game. He's got a website. It's got everything new for Icons. It has a, hey, if you have ideas about Icons, contact me. And so he's appears to be very involved with the game and with the community still to this day.
So much so that somebody tagged him in one of my posts on Twitter, and he responded by giving me the book. So this game is supported. You can buy it, I believe, at ttrpg or on its own website. You can check out. Just type in Icons ttrpg in Google. You'll find it pretty easy. No, you have not missed the PBTA game review. I believe you're talking about City of Mist Vampire. So we have read it before on stream. I think the VOD is on our YouTube. If it's not, I'll get it up there. But we are going to read that one again and give it like a full overview as well. I know Vampire's been excited about that one. We also have Tiny D6 Supers in the hopper. Yeah. As it were. But yeah, let's dive in. What do you think about the cover so far? Just right off the bat, judging a book by its cover. I think it looks pretty cool.
I thought you weren't supposed to judge a book by its cover.
You can, though.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm an American. I'll do whatever.
You have given me permission to judge a book by its cover. I like this. There's a lot going on here.
Oh,
one thing that
I just realized Vampire might have meant masks. That is a PBTA superhero game. We have not done masks. We have not received masks, and we have not heard back from the company yet. So we are working on that. But I'll be damned if I'm paying for a book. I'm a famous streamer, god damn it.
Damn. I would like to bring your attention to a character who has caught my eye on the cover of this book. Right in the top in the center appears to be a Paragon type of superhero.
Yeah, dressed in kind of like a Roman sort of outfit.
Yeah. Long white cape, long black turtleneck, and maybe a kilt, maybe a skirt, letting your legs breathe.
One of those like Roman style or Egyptian style.
Letting your crotchels breathe. I think that's a good idea as a superhero.
It is kind of funny flying in a skirt because, like, what if he's Commando? Like,
he's just, it is a kilt, not a skirt at all, not an armored skirt, just straight up a kilt. He's a Scottish hero.
He's the Flasher.
Everyone's heard of the flying nutsack. All right, so I on the other cover, what were we looking at yesterday?
Oh man, that guy's punching space lettuce.
It wasn't Ike. What were we looking at yesterday?
We were looking at Supers.
Supers. That's right. I really liked the Supers cover. They had that the big fat guy, right dead center. I thought that was great. I don't know if I like this green guy as much, but you know.
Okay, I like the green guy actually. Vampire says this is too cartoony and campy just from the cover, but we'll dive deeper. We're just giving first impressions, you know. Nothing sticking yet.
Vampire says, light this PDF on fire and send it back.
Vampire is harsh. No, this guy's punching a mummy. That I like that. Looks like he's punching a mummy in half. I enjoy that. It does
a lot. Look like he's punching a mummy in half.
I really like that.
Pretty fun.
10 out of 10 for. Oh, hey, look, I got his signature. Thanks, Steve Kansen.
Oh, cool. Now you can write yourself a check.
Right? Yeah, that's how that works. Hey, Gorilla Grodd fighting Wonder Woman / Chitara? I don't know. That's cool.
Also, Gorilla Grodd is stealing Abraham Lincoln's head and is all tied up by a stretchy stretcher.
Is he? Oh my god, I didn't notice that he was stealing Lincoln's head from the Lincoln Memorial. Oh my god. He's a Confederate soldier.
He's wearing a Confederate uniform.
Oh my god. 10 out of 10 on this picture. 10 out of 10.
Oh, fuck,
wow.
Yeah, that's good.
That's extraordinary. And he's being defeated by feminism, and I'm all about that.
I love racism being defeated by feminism.
I do too.
Yeah. All right. let's keep going. This is. Do we get to? Are we even reading anything yet? Or are we just looking at art?
There was too many bangers on the first few
Okay.
pages, but here
So
we
the
are,
first
level
one-
and scale.
I was gonna say the first pages is role playing. It's like how to role play, which we can breeze through that because we know how to role play. Next is why icons on page 5. Like why pick.
Oh, you're way behind me. All right.
Yeah, well, I went back up a little bit to see if we missed anything.
Why icons? That's a good place to start, actually.
Yeah, this might be important, right? Why this game? That's what we're trying to figure out, anyways. Superhero role-playing games have been around nearly as long as the game style. Role-playing started out with medieval fantasy and quickly moved on to science fiction, but superheroes were not far behind. And the adventures of brightly clad heroes with strange powers has been one of the most enduring subgenres of role-playing games throughout their history. Icons is hardly the first superhero role-playing game. It's not even the 10th. In fact, it's not even the first superhero game that I've designed, nor is this book the first version of Icons for that matter. So if there are older and presumably still fun superhero role-playing games around, and I already designed one of them, why create another? If there's already an Icons rulebook, why publish the Assembled Edition? Several reasons. First and perhaps foremost, I do not believe in the concept of the one true game. Saying there's only one room for a superhero RPG is like suggesting that there should only be one board game where you move the pieces around squares. Why have checkers when you already have chess? Neither game is better than the other. They both deliver fun and new, interesting challenges in their own way. Second, as a game designer, and designers like to play with ideas for games and different mechanics, different approaches to see how things work in various ways. A lot of role-playing games is a matter of taste rather than objective value. Lastly, just as a writer writes, a designer designs, some concepts just lodge themselves into the folds of your brain and stick there until you do something about it. Icons is one of those. That's funny. I like that. This is good. It's a nice little heartfelt from Steve Kinson about why. And I had this question when I first found out that Steve Kinson
did Mutants and Masterminds. Yeah.
I was like, why another one? Did someone just pay you to do this?
I also like that they're both in like every top 10 superhero RPG list.
That makes me think that Steve should like work for Marvel or something, and they just don't know it. If you continue to make top tier superhero products, there's a place for you in that superhero world, and superheroes are making a ton of money right now.
That's fair. So this is exciting. Yeah, you know what I'm excited for though. Since you're mentioning superhero popularity, the new Marvel game that's coming out, that's going to be exciting.
Mm-hmm. The game is by Matt Forbeck.
Yeah, Matt Forbeck is making a new Marvel ttrpg currently, and we're excited.
I've reached out to him a couple times. He's already got his playtesters and everything, but I so badly want to.
But we think Gary might have secured us a copy, so we're excited.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll see.
But yeah, so anyways, Icons. So it levels and scale, it goes from weak to supreme 1 to 10. Pretty easy. Supreme is godlike, weak is minimum human. Minimum human. That's kind of funny. You're a minimum. That sounds very insulting.
It does.
So 3 is considered average. Okay, so that's the power scale.
I love minimum human. It's really growing on me.
Yeah, it's like, what is that, like a baby?
I liked it at first, but it's getting better with time.
It's really funny to think about how to apply that. Yeah.
I can't wait to call somebody a minimum human.
Yeah. Minimum human. So they have
the worst skills across the board, you minimum fucking human.
So they have the time section where they talk about narrative time and action time. Narrative time, I don't think we need to talk about. Narrative time is just when things are happening, as it always is. Action time, maybe we need to read it.
Maybe.
Yeah, because here they talk about panels. So you act in panels, which I like. Very thematic.
Cool. Okay.
The basic segment of action time is a panel, which covers an abstract amount of time equal to the action depicted in a single comic book panel. All of the characters' panels add up to a page, which is enough time for every character involved to take action. As a default, 10 pages of action time are assumed to be equal to about a minute. 10 pages for a minute? That's a lot. In case... Oh, sorry. In cases where that matters, the GM may use an abstract number of pages as measure of things. Each page, characters can move once during their panel. Ooh, Whoppers in a carton. I used to hate Whoppers when I was a kid, but they grew on me. I like them a lot now.
I'm sorry, Rise of Mages was asking for a bite, so I was sharing.
Oh, I saw. But apparently Rise of Mages does not know how to eat Whoppers as they slurped them.
Yeah, you would cough if you tried to slurp
You're not supposed to slurp Whoppers. But yeah, so you can move once during your panel. I mean, panels are just turns. I do like the attempt to comic book it. I like it. This ranges from running across the room to teleporting across the universe, depending on the character's abilities. Act once during their panel. Oh, bye, Gary. Doing one thing, like making an attack, using a power, or doing some other significant activity involving a test. Then react, a largely unlimited amount to other circumstances. Reactions can take place in other panels on that page, although they still require the character to be capable of taking action. And then interact, as much as they would like, including talking and minor activities that do not involve tests, such as picking things up, blah, blah, blah. These options are discussed more in taking action. So cool. They try to put it into panels in the comic books. Very exciting. Distance. Okay, so
it's cool that all the actions take place in panels, and that
I do too.
have reactions for the panels as well.
That's going to pump up their setting score for me, for sure. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate it a lot. I don't want to understate it. I like it a lot. Because, I like how City of Mist, like, everything's, like, seasons of TV, that kind of thing. I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, so distance, it looks like they do pretty abstract distances, like, not, like, 5 meters, 10 meters. It's personal, close, extended, visual, and beyond. That's fair.
That's my favorite way to do it.
My favorite way. I hate, this. The only time I want to whip out a measuring tape is if I'm playing fucking Warhammer. That's it.
If you're playing a miniatures game or a battle game, yes. And if you're playing with miniatures in person and you guys are like battle grid people, sure, fine. That's fine.
I remember being so excited getting a fancy measuring tape for like Christmas one year. My mom bought me one that had like a notepad on it and a level, and I was like,
shit.
Yeah, it was dope.
That's fancy.
Warhammer, woo! But yeah, so distances, fair. Okay, these are always my favorite part to like understand the rules. Benchmarks. How fast do I go? How much can I lift? How far is it? While icons quantifies abilities in distinct levels on a scale, there are a lot of abstraction, and it can be both useful for players and GMs to have a sense of characters' capabilities in real-world terms. And that's where this comes into play. When dealing with the effect of an ability that involves mass, distance, speed, or strength, you can look up the level on this table to get a general idea. Note the values given on the table are still in broad general terms, and not precise measurements, which I appreciate. I don't want to do that math, man. Instances of barely succeeding or failing by inches, seconds, etc. are more a matter of dramatic test outcomes than the simple measure of abilities. So, level 1, when it comes to like weight, is a brick. Material. So I assume like maybe like ripping or breaking the material. Leather is a level 1 material, which, what? I feel like leather is tougher than plastic, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I've never tried to rip a piece of leather in half.
I mean, I've chewed through plastic, and it's pretty easy. And chewing through rubber is not, or through leather is not quite as easy.
Okay. And then distance, a couple of yards is level 1, and then speed, sprint.
I like that the weights go from brick to
child. Yeah. So 2 is child plastic. Distance is across the street. Speed is that of a dolphin or a horse. Oh man, this is hilarious. All right, I love this table. I love this table. So between a heavy sack is apparently heavier than a child. Depends on the child, really, but that's fair.
The age of the child and the weight of the sack.
It's like, what if it's Krampus's sack and there's many children in it?
Exactly, yeah. This reminds me of the old what's heavier, a pound of feathers or a pound of bricks?
Oh my god. Have you seen the one where the guy doesn't understand it?
No, I haven't.
There's a video where the guy's like, but steel's heavier, and but they're both a kilogram. But feathers is lighter. Look at how many there are. You're cheating. It's really funny. But yeah. We don't have to go through this whole list, but holy crap, is this really funny. So a tank or a bus is a 7, and a mountain is a 10. I feel like that's a leap. I feel like that's...
Look, Jahan,
like
if a child is a 2 and a mountain is a 10...
That means a mountain is... See, they're not... They're saying levels, though.
Yes, that's correct.
Levels are different. I feel like this... Alright.
We're just having fun.
Yeah, no, we're just having fun.
Alright, next is Wonder Woman, and she's ripping a chain in half.
That says off the scale.
Mm-hmm.
What is the strength of an ant? What about the weight of a planet? The icon scale is intended to cover a broad, but still limited range of levels. There are many cases, however, when things are simply off the scale. When dealing with things off the scale, don't worry so much about the mechanics, just use common sense. Fair. Okay. They're saying don't be an asshole. Like, but this is I can lift a planet. Yeah, you know, well, you're standing on a planet. I don't know, I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll find out.
So they also say you can bump, if you're playing a game like that on purpose, then you can bump up your benchmarks to make it where, like, okay, everybody throws a planet at 8, that way we have a planet throwing game.
Oh, so they have a sliding Dragon Ball Z scale?
Correct.
Adult or
because
everyday.
if you're doing that level of a game, then you probably don't need to worry about the weight of bricks or a heavy sack anymore. So you just dump those off the top of the list and you add planets onto the top. Next is abilities. All Icon's characters have certain abilities rated on the scale, providing a measurement for the character's capabilities.
I think our viewers are networking, and it's really funny.
Good, at least they're getting along.
Rise of Mages is an artist I actually follow. They do pretty cool work. But yeah,
did I read that they are a 3D printer as well?
Maybe.
I think that's what's going on. I think everybody here is a 3D printing buff.
It's me. All right. But yeah, sorry.
No problem. Every character has 6 attributes, which are made up of inborn talent, training, and experience. Your attributes are prowess, coordination, strength, intellect, awareness, and willpower. Each attribute in Icons covers a lot of ground, so characters may have specialties reflecting aspects of their attributes, where they are especially proficient. For example, a character with a science specialty of intellect knows even more about science, effectively having a higher intellect in that particular area. So specialties is expertise. Finally, under specialties is power. Superhuman abilities or powers put the super into superhero. Like other abilities, powers have levels measuring their effectiveness on the scale. Unlike attributes, not all characters have powers. While everybody has some level in all 6 attributes, even if it's just a 1 or a 2, powers vary from character to
minimum human.
Minimum human. The heroes and villains and Icons typically have some powers. Man, I can't wait till one of your villains tells us we're minimum humans. Only if the special equipment or devices, but normal people by definition do not. Okay, so people don't have powers, but maybe your power is devices or equipment, right? Like Batman or Iron Man. No problem. We get all that. Attributes, specialties, and powers. So your attributes are your skills, your specialties are your skill focuses, and then your powers are your powers. Next is stamina, which stamina is not one of the core attributes. It's going to be its own thing.
The Bedazzler's fighting Moltar.
Oh, that is Moltar. I remember him. It's good that he wears his helmet in Space Ghost.
Yeah,
He looks a lot better with his helmet on. Saggy bag of dicks. Stamina is determined by adding a character's strength and willpower levels together. It's a measure of how much punishment a character can take. Okay, so your stamina is your health. It's a measure of how damaging certain effects can be. For example, a hero with a strength of 4, willpower of 5 has a stamina 9. A single attack inflicting level 9 or higher damage will reduce the character to 0 stamina. Determination. The difference between a hero and someone who just gets lucky is determination. It's what heroes use to pull off amazing feats when the chips are down and lets players decide which tests are the most important for their heroes to accomplish.
So,
Icons, like luck points.
do they have to do all the damage in one hit? And are you immediately knocked out?
So that is just an example. There are damage and taking damage rules later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, that's hardcore.
No, I think that's just showing you that stamina is health, and it's like, look how simple it is. I don't think people are going to hit you with a whole lot of level 9 abilities.
That's fair.
If I were to guess. Determination. Icon's characters have a determination level similar to other abilities, which provides a pool of DP, Donkey Punch-a-Rooney points, that players spend during the game. You may want to use tokens like poker chips, glass beads to help you track how many Donkey Punch points you have.
Yeah, people often use glass beads to track DP. So
that's exactly right. I love that you use the anal beads to track your Donkey Punch.
There you go.
I'm really loving this system.
It's very inventive, and it uses stuff you already have lying around the house. It's fantastic.
Oh, we always wonder what we're going to do with these anal beads on game night.
Yeah, I was wondering.
We just have to tuck them away, but not anymore, baby.
On the table.
Yeah, anybody can use these anal beads.
Oh,
we don't mind. Tests. When characters' capabilities are called into question, you do a test. That's pretty easy. It's your effort, which is your acting ability, plus a d6, minus the difficulty, which is the opposing ability, plus a d6. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It's pretty easy.
That's how you do it. It's the thing plus a d6.
So you just gotta roll 1d6. It's not hard.
Not at all.
Keeps the numbers easy.
If you're comfortable using the level adjectives, remember earlier we saw some adjectives for level, you can say something like, this is a good coordination test is what you're trying to beat. And then people will know what their difficulty is because, it's the level adjective of the thing.
Yeah.
What ability do I test? This is it says it's fairly obvious, strength for bending or breaking, but there is wiggle room in terms of figuring out, so that's, Jahan and I play that way anyways.
As per usual, yeah, it's pretty much,
writing.
If you can justify it.
It's becoming more and more commonplace to see that in systems. It's okay to roll an acrobatics check instead of an athletics check sometimes.
Well, TTRPGs are really moving away from the days of chainmail, which was the precursor to D&D, where every pound, every ounce of food and water meticulously tracked, and your life force had I don't know, it's
different strokes for different folks.
Moving away from the super complex.
That is not my kind of game, but I totally get it, and I think there's something
get
really, yeah, there's something fun about it, but it's meticulous.
I would love to play it. I would hate to run it.
You have to have a game, I don't know, you have to have a lot of player trust to make sure they're not, lying about their weight, or make sure they're not just lying, but keeping track of every single thing, because it can be overwhelming. Or you have to have a really involved game master.
Yeah, I would hate to run one of those.
Yeah, it would be rough. I agree. Where were we? Ability tests. Then there's ability limits. In some situations, one ability may limit another. For example, juggling is a coordination test. However, a juggling contest involving who can go the longest without getting tired might bring strength into the equation. Okay. Multiple abilities. In other situations, character may get a choice of abilities for a test, allowing them to play to their strengths, such as a test that can use prowess, coordination, or strength. Yes, yes, yes. We're familiar with many of those things. So, effort to attempt a test, whoever controls the testing character, player, or game master, rolls a die and adds the result to the acting ability being tested, including enemy modification. This determines the effort that goes into a test. I don't really understand that. Aren't you just rolling it anyways? Why is this called the effort all of a sudden?
Let's read it again. To attempt a test, whoever controls the testing character rolls a die and adds the result to the acting ability being tested, including any modification of relevant specialty. Alright, so throwing a punch. You want to take a swing at a bad guy. Roll a d6 and add the result to your prowess. This ability, the ability for close combat, to get your effort. So, okay, so no, this is just breaking down what we heard earlier. Okay, so...
Okay, it's just the same thing in more
because
words.
up there in the test formula, acting ability plus d6 has effort next to it, and it's minus difficulty. So now it's just explaining it more. It's not a new thing.
Well, that brings us down to the outcomes, I guess.
Yes.
Which, also, this is not a new thing, but if you roll a -5 or less, it's a massive failure. If you roll a 5 or more, it's a massive success. So your rolls are going to be in between -5 and +5. And since you're just using a d6 plus some basic skill, I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah, plus a basic skill, and then minus a d6 plus a basic skill.
So every 2 levels of your success of your die roll is a level of success.
I like that a 0 is a marginal success. That's interesting.
That's right. A 0 is a flat success, and then a 1 or 2 is a moderate success. 3 or 4 is a major, and then 5 and up is a massive success.
It's very cool. So, real quick, I do want to take a peek at this difficulty thing to make sure we didn't miss anything.
Mm-hmm.
No, it looks like it's pretty straightforward. Okay.
Yeah, I think the difficulty sort of...
It's a d6 plus a number, and then you subtract that from the effort. That's it. Okay.
Effect is the next thing. Some actions cause effects. I'm pretty sure that's self-explanatory.
Well, it says stuff. So, for some actions, the outcome of the test, success or failure, is also its effect. What happens as a result of the test? In other cases, an effectability determines the result of the test. A marginal success halves the level of effect, rounding down, which reduces a level 1 effect to a 0, in which case the outcome of the test becomes a failure. So if you get a marginal... So what it's saying is if you get a marginal success with like a level 2 or 3 power, you still do something. But if you get a marginal success with a level 1, you do nothing. Which, okay. So there is a little bit there. Marginal success halves the successful effect. Interesting. I find that very interesting. Combined effort. In some instances, multiple characters may combine their effort. I love this. Fastball special time, guys. Alright. When this happens, choose a coordinating character for the test. This character makes the test normally. Each assisting character makes the same test, and with a moderate or better success, provides a bonus to the coordinating character's effort chosen by the coordinating character. The bonus is +1 for 1 successful assist, and increases by +1 for every doubling of assistance. +2 for 2 successful assists, +3 for 4, and so on. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. The GM determines the maximum number of characters who can assist. So you guys can all do a group thing.
And they go on to actually break down how that might work. They show like a troll king who might have a resistance of 9. And so you get your highest damage guy to do the thing. Everybody jumps on the bandwagon, so you end up getting a +6 to your highest damage guy's roll, which he would roll, likely a massive success or just a huge success in general. And so that would be how you overcome Thanos level enemies, is by working together and giving each other that +1, which is huge in this system.
I love when they give such a clear definition of how to work together, because people always ask, and it's nice to have that answer ready. And then this next part is also an incredibly important question that I feel is never answered nearly enough. Trying again. Unless the task description specifies otherwise, you can retry a failed test so long as circumstances allow. If you miss with an attack, you can try on your next panel, making a new attack, obviously. Circumstances can make it impossible to try a failed test again. If you try to disarm a bomb and it goes off, well, that's the least of your problems. Okay. In some cases, trying again requires determined effort, meaning you must spend a determination point in order to make another attempt. See determination later in the chapter. Okay. So that determination points can let you retry things. Good to know. And then this next one is interesting. You see this diagram, Gary?
Yeah, so I was looking at this, and they're calling this a pyramid test. And what this
sounds like a scheme to me.
It does. What this is almost a skill challenge. It looks like there you can have multiple successes and failures stacked to carry out a greater objective. And it's just organized in a pyramid.
Would you like to?
So, yeah, well, it actually you can jump steps on it too. So let's read exactly how this works, because massive success will, I think, succeed the pyramid. When heroes are confronted with a complex task, even with degrees of success and failure, the game master can set up a pyramid test. With a pyramid test, a single test can succeed, but smaller successes can also accumulate to accomplish the task. This allows for teamwork and the combination of abilities or approaches to achieve success. Essentially, a pyramid test requires a single massive success. However, lesser outcomes can build a pyramid of success, with two outcomes of the same degree adding up to one outcome of the next higher level. Two major outcomes add up to a massive success, while two moderate outcomes add up to a major, and so forth. So this is a lot like a skill challenge. That's almost exactly what's going on here.
It is, but it's so interesting. So what they're saying is that you can succeed minor, I can succeed minor, and that becomes a major, right? And the other two people in the party can do the same thing, and then that's two majors, and then that can become together a massive success, which is
exactly right.
Crazy. I like that.
It's really cool for the visual scene as well.
Especially since I think massive success, they mentioned earlier, it affects the effects. So that could turn a fireball or something from like not doing that much to catching everyone on fire, stuff like that. I think that it could be cool. Subduing someone mentally.
There are also pyramid test modifiers. So this is the game master's choice to kind of change how the pyramid works. You can have a balanced pyramid, which is the example that we just showed, that graph. Also, a collapsing pyramid loses successes over time, and it forces the characters to get back in it and keep making successes and keep fighting.
I keep thinking, as we're talking about this, of the awesome MCU scene where they're trying to get the glove off of Thanos. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This is awesome. And that was definitely collapsing.
Competitive. This one would be two or more sides racing to complete the pyramid. Maybe another group of heroes or villains. Cost would each attempt of the test, whether failing the attempt or succeeding, this might lose stamina and result in injury or exhaustion. Deep. This, I think, makes the pyramid, let's see, normal marginally successes do not count towards building a success pyramid, but for this type they do. Two marginal successes count as a moderate success, so that makes it a little easier. Escalating, the pyramid increases difficulty by 1. There's fragile, there's long, there's short, there's timed, there's trigger, there's wide. So you play with these pyramids, and it really affects the scene of what the heroes are doing. This is a really cool game master element.
I actually love it, because that's, I don't know, building like what do you call them? Like dramatic tests that go on and on, like in other games, The Expanse, that kind of thing. They're cool. They do have rules, and I like them. But this one seems very easy and very mutable to me, and I enjoyed that. It's applicable to any situation.
This is a neat. This is neat. It is just a skill challenge at the end of the day, but
this one feels super.
I was going to say, but at the end of the day, every tabletop game is rolling dice, right? So just saying that it's a skill challenge, I think, does it injustice. This pyramid is cool, and the way they break it down for you is cool, and the different options they give you. This is the kind of thing where you could write a pyramid on a page of paper, and it may last you an entire session.
Yeah, and that's the session, and I like that a lot.
I like that. They're going to get some points from me.
Oh man, not only somehow those rules feed into superheroes. Like, it feels right. I don't know. It's impressive. It's impressive what they did with such a.
I'll tell you why it feels
small
right,
thing.
I completely agree, because you, as a superhero, you shouldn't be failing all the time. It just doesn't feel right, and it's heroes don't fail all the time. What they do is either succeed or they succeed big,
or they fail up.
Yeah, and so this lets you succeed a little bit and let somebody else succeed a little bit, and as a team, you're building this, and it's not just like, oh, I miss. And, oh, I miss again. And, you don't want a superhero that blasts lasers all over the place and misses every turn. It's just no fun.
Yeah. No, I like it a lot. That's impressive. I'm impressed with that little tidbit.
Very cool.
Qualities. A quality describes something distinctive, not covered by a numerical rated ability. For a character, it can be a high-concept, demon-possessed detective. To a favorite catchphrase, primary motivation, title, or epithet. World's greatest magician, and so forth. Even places or situations may have qualities, and characters' actions can also create and impose qualities. See qualities in the section of heroes. So that sounds cool. I like that. I've seen it's like Dune, how you can add modifiers to other people, like making someone scared. Or,
right.
And that's how they that you add tags to stuff, which is very PB, Powered by the Apocalypse. And this sounds kind of like that.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Activating qualities. Players and game masters can activate a quality to gain an advantage or to create trouble. Qualities are activated in the form of the following type of statement, naming both the quality to be activated and the advantage or trouble it creates. Okay. Looks like Batman's about to get eaten by Killer Croc.
Finally.
Although that looks more like the crocodile from Peter Pan.
It does. I'm a big fan of Killer Croc, though.
Me too. Looks like that's Ratman.
I was just going to say, also, methinks that's Ratman.
He has a tail.
A chrome tail.
Yeah. No. That's enough of that. I don't want to get sued.
Qualities kind of goes on a little bit. It says they can be activated in the following ways. You can spend determination. You can use a maneuver. You can use tactics. Or sometimes it's a free action. These qualities, to me, Jahan, sound like maybe things like interacting with the environment or certain skills that work together in a certain way.
I think, like, you're trying to get into the casino, right? You activate quality world's greatest magician. Of course they let you, and you're a headliner. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of like that kind of thing. Or, you need to get into an apartment building. I'm a pizza delivery guy during the day. Like, I know how to get into an apartment building, just hit all the buttons, activate. I think it can be that, but I also think it can be more, perhaps.
And it can. You're absolutely right. The qualities have different levels of successes and failures. Ooh. If you have a moderate success on a quality, you can activate it once for free. A major success lets you do it twice, and a massive success lets you activate your quality 3 times. So, qualities, what's cool about them is there are also team qualities that everyone gets access to. Like if we are the Fantastic Four.
Recognizable.
Before I get there, let me go to removing qualities, which is characters can remove or eliminate qualities created by others, either by spending determination points or performing a counter maneuver. It's a one-to-one basis. So there you go. That's how you get rid of qualities, too. That's for game masters and players. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. It's just a one determination point or a counter maneuver to get rid of the thing that's on you.
It's not bad. I love things that use points because it works so well on stream.
Yes, it does.
For our Boon and Doom system.
I love the 1 point trade-ins also. Those keep it easy for the players. Team qualities work like other qualities, except that they may be activated by and for any member of the team. For example, any of the Hexmen can use the team quality Otherworldly Academy or Unite Against Darkness. The Hexmen.
No.
Led by Professor Xavier. Advantages.
They all have 8 sides.
Once you activate a quality, there's the things you can do. I was wondering
where are you?
what the qualities were.
Advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It says once you activate a quality, you can gain an advantage from the following list. And it lets you activate multiple. Right? Yeah, if you activate multiple qualities, you gain multiple advantages, including multiple instances of the same advantage. But only one advantage per quality. Per page. I bet we'll figure out what that means.
No, I understand it. So, if you have more than one quality that you activate, you can choose improved effort for both of them. But you can't use the same quality twice. Like, you can't choose We're the Hexmen twice in a page.
Okay.
But you can choose We're the Hexmen and my bones are made out of unobtainium. Improved effort 2 times.
Did you ever know what retcon stood for?
Retcon?
Yeah. I never knew what it stood for.
Retroactive continuity? Yeah, I guess not. I mean,
cool.
I figured it stood for something. I just never questioned it. Huh.
Every day is a school day.
Retroactive continuity. That makes sense. Yeah. You're rewriting what happened already. Yeah.
That's one of the things you can spend your advantage on that you get from the quality. Yeah, roll high on a quality, gain advantages. That's right. You can do improved effort. You can do insight to get a hint from the game master. You can push an ability stronger by 1 level. You can recover stamina equal to the higher of your strength or willpower. You can retcon something within reason if your game master gives it the thumbs up and the okay. And then finally, you can perform stunts, which is going to be in a different section 2 pages down from here.
I like stunts.
I might like stunts. I don't know what they mean in this game.
Yeah, I like them in general. I like them in the age system.
I might hate
fantastic.
them in this game.
Who knows?
I love them.
I love in a system where you can use a point, such as a hero point, to actually push an ability further. I love that. Because it happens in media all the time. You know what I mean? Like, they find that emotional connection and they Kamehameha 10 times stronger, you know?
Yeah, being able to push your powers is great. I'm all for it. And then you have a great turn where, then you use 3 or 4 different powers and you push them all. Like you're pushing your limits. That could be a really fun thing to do.
So trouble, you can spend determination points for players can spend determination points to avoid trouble, but this both costs DP and means the player does not earn any additional DP from the troubles. So challenge, similar to retcon, you add a new challenge to the thing. Compulsion, the character is required to act in a particular manner. Interesting. Disability, the character loses use of an ability for that page. Increased difficulty, the character suffers a +2 increase to the difficulty of a test. And lost panel, the character loses a panel due to distraction. Oh, no. Yeah, that's pretty good. Trouble is indeed trouble. I like that it can be pretty heavy. Losing a panel's rough.
Yeah, it is. Holy crap. Okay, well then we're on to stunts, which we were more excited for before we got to how terrifying that page was. Attribute stunts. There's different kind of stunts. I get this is what the first part says. Attribute stunts are only available to characters with superhuman level 7 or greater in an attribute or master specialty. A science master can perform stunts related to science. A martial arts master can perform martial arts, and so on. Heroes with 7+ in strength or a 7+ in intellect can perform stunts. So you just have to have over 7 is all that says in a nutshell. Power stunts are available to powers regardless of the level, since powers are unusual abilities to begin with. Like all stunts, a power stunt must reasonably fall within the power's parameters, as defined by the Game Master. Some powers may be more usable for stunts than others. Powers not under a character's conscious control, resistance for example, tend to be less useful for stunts, but can still be used for a suitable stunt if the player is imaginative and the Game Master agrees. The example I could think of for that is if I had resistance and I wanted to just balls out walk across a room that might kill people, like lava or poison, and hey, can I just use a stunt to just bebop across this room? And you're like, yeah, that's fine. You're the resilience guy.
Yeah.
To perform a stunt, a character must have an advantage acquired through a maneuver or tactic or use determination. Performing a stunt uses the advantage. You can use separate advantages to improve tests for a stunt, just like any other test.
Stunt effects. Ooh, here we go. Generally, a stunt grants temporary access to another ability, attribute, or power for a particular use. Powers also have extras available to them, which expand the power's capabilities. See extras and powers. A stunt can grant a temporary use of an extra for a power, or sometimes even an attribute, or it can temporarily overcome one of the power's limits, which restrict its capabilities. The range of possible stunts could easily fill an entire book of its own.
Wow.
But players and game masters are encouraged to use their imagination. Hey, Steve Kenson, need help writing a stunt book? Pick me. Yeah, no, that's not, I don't know what to say about that. That sounds cool. I like it.
All heroes in Icons have a starting determination level of 6 -1 for each power that the hero has.
Oh, what did we skip?
The bottom or to the top of
Mastered
page 30.
stunts.
Right below that.
Skipping
so
that.
The mastered stunts is an optional rule.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a neat optional rule. So I could take, you know how in order to do the power stunt, you have to have an advantage already? So the mastered stunts, you actually spend a permanent point. You spend a determination. And from now on, you have mastered that stunt. So I don't need advantage to do the thing with that power anymore because I spent one permanent determination on it.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
It's a cool rule, but not necessary.
Oh no, I was just wondering.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a neat little thing. So determination, you have 6 -1 for each power. Each attribute with a level greater than 6 counts as a power. A hero with coordination 8 and 2 powers has a determination of 3. Determination points. Heroes start with a number of determination equal to their determination level. They spend and gain points in play, and in addition, determination points renew at the start of every new issue. I like that they call the sessions issues.
I do. Yeah, no, they're killing it on the setting score.
Leadership. The leadership specialty allows a team's leader to grant an additional determination point to teammates per level in the specialty per issue. A leadership master can give teammates up to a total of 3 points of determination per issue while leading, without spending any determination to do so. The amount of determination the leader can grant renews at the start of each issue, just like the character's personal determination. If there is a change in leadership during play, subtract the amount of Donkey Punch points the previous leader provided during that issue from the amount of new that the leader is able to provide.
I like that leadership matters so much. Because no one ever wants to take the lead, but now that there's a reason, maybe it'll help. Spending determination, is that where we're at?
Yes. Spending determination.
We've already kind of covered a lot of this, so we can kind of breeze through it. So, activate equality. We talked about that. Avoid trouble. We talked about that. Determined effort. allowing you to make an additional attempt at a test. Okay. That normally we talked about that too. That's redoing a test essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Gaining determination. Players gain determination when the game master spends a determination point on behalf of a game master character.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. The affected player gains a determination point. This includes all of the uses of DP previously, activating qualities, avoiding trouble, and determined. Okay. When one of the hero's qualities is activated to cause trouble for the hero, whether done by the game master or her hero gains a determination point. I don't know if I understand that. When one hero's quality is activated to cause trouble for the hero, whether done by the player... Oh, okay, I get it. If your character's determination point total at the start of an issue is less than the hero's determination level, it increases up to the amount. However, if it is already above the starting amount, then it doesn't increase. So it's saying that you always start the issue with your maximum amount of determination available. But if you're above that number, it just stays that way. So you can go above, and that's good. So another way you can gain determination on our channel is by booning our players. So if we were doing that, you guys could give points of Donkey Punch points.
They can also doom us with Doom Donkey Punch points.
Yes. And I feel like that might work different in this game.
Remember earlier when we were asking about damage?
Yes.
This is where resistance comes in to that damage, so you don't just take that flat 9 we were talking about earlier.
Gotcha. Yeah, so if someone dooms you in this game, I would use it to activate one of your troubles. I think that's what I would do. And you would get a point for that still.
Yes, you would. That's really cool, and it's true. I like that.
I like it a lot. Yeah, and then they can also give me points, obviously, so... Very cool.
Resistance is is resistance. It actually doesn't say how your target gets resistance. I thought it was going to give us a breakdown number of what your base resistance was, but it doesn't. And in fact, it says if your target has no resistance, then the attack does full damage. So if you don't have armor or resistance in this game, it looks like you do take full damage. Other than that, it's actually really, really easy.
Yeah.
It just does the level of the ability, like we said earlier. It just does the level of the strength or the level of the spell. And then you can add things, right? The different qualities and stunning.
It really keeps those numbers low, man. I appreciate that, because that is so hard to do in a Supers game, you know? My example is always Oberon. And maybe we should look at Oberon on the stream. I think I still have a copy somewhere. And that is the crunchiest superhero game I've ever seen. But it's been a while. Maybe it'll make new sense now that we're like masters.
There are a lot of cool things here that I feel like I have to read.
Yeah, go ahead. No, read. By all means. That's why, yeah, we got time.
If you do a slamming attack,
Yeah.
then it inflicts 0 or more stamina damage. First, if you roll a failure, it has no effect on the slam. If you roll a moderate success, it knocks the target prone, and getting back up is the target's next move action for the next panel. If you have a major or massive success, it sends the target flying out to the next range, typically from close to extended. The target must spend the next panel getting up and can perform no other actions. If there's an obstacle along the way and the attacker's damage is greater than the obstacle's material level, the target is knocked through it. Otherwise, they hit the target obstacle and stop.
Okay, that's getting a little crunchy, but they keep the numbers so reasonable and small that it's pretty doable. I love it.
Here's what you can do, though. You can slam, you can stun, or you can kill. So there's only those 3 options that you really have to care about, and then at that point, it's only fail, moderate, or major success. The other ones are even easier. If you stun somebody and you don't do the stun, there's not an effect. If you moderately succeed, they're stunned for 1 page, during which they cannot act. And if you have a massive or major success on a stun, you reduce them to 0 and knock them unconscious.
That's pretty major. Yeah.
And then killing is the last one. If you don't do it, then you just do stamina damage. If you have a moderate success, you reduce the stamina to 0 and you render the target unconscious. If you have a major or massive success on a kill, you reduce your target stamina to 0, you render the character unconscious, and on the following page, and each page thereafter, a character loses a level of strength, and when the strength falls below 0, the character dies. You can prevent your strength level from dropping for 1 page by spending a determination point. Whew, that's scary beeswax right there, sir.
Yeah, they have much more intense death rules in this one, which brings it into the Boys and Jupiter's Legacy kind of bloodfest potential, which is interesting. I mean, it's all a matter of how you run it, but
I like that the bloody. I like the bloody superhero stories. I do like them to be a little bit more adult of a superhero story. I think.
I just saw. So you know Teen Titans Go, like the shitty Teen Titans.
Yes.
Someone went back in time and messed up all the superhero paths so they didn't become superheroes, and they went back in time and fixed it. And when they went back in time to fix Batman, they murdered his parents in an alleyway with a gun. they go into the alleyway, you hear bang bang and and then they high five. I just wanted to point that out. I don't know why.
Really great.
It made me think of that. So funny.
Speaking of killing people, there's actually a Back from the Dead section here on the recovery page. It says in superhero games that, death's not always permanent.
No.
And you can come back, you just lose some major stats along the way.
Can be interesting.
Special adventures, you might need to re-roll traits and stuff, but it can happen.
Yeah, like Wolverine, his claws could heat up when he came back and blah, blah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was killed by, he was he was melted into adamantium. They put him into melted adamantium, and one day he came back to life with fire claws.
Cool.
Yeah, you and K1 both hate Wolverine. It's fun.
I don't hate Wolverine.
Well,
I actually like Wolverine.
The story was interesting. I want to read. So this is something that's important to me. Options, minions. Let's see how this goes, because this can change how just easy it is to run. Henchmen. So villains often have gangs of minions. Henchmen intend to keep heroes busy with their superior numbers. Most minions are relatively weak compared to heroes, with abilities rarely more than 3. Still, tracking the stamina of a large number of minions, along with rolling, slamming, stunning, and even killing tests for them can become tedious, so the game master may use to wish the following optional. If a hero successfully attacks against a minion, the minion is reduced to 0 and unconscious, just like major stunning outcome. If you want slightly less harsh version, require the hero's attack to be a major or better. Okay, so you just set the level of success required to knock them unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. And for more lethal, minions are rendered unconscious by successful bashing or blasting attacks, but they are killed by successful shooting and slashing. Just like major success on killing, as before. Okay. Note the guidelines for evading in the taking action chapters apply to minions. Okay. That's pretty easy. Just essentially it turns them into 4th edition minions. One hit takes them out. And I like that.
Yeah, same.
We don't need to read more different damage effects or more lethal damage. They get points for optional rules, though. And also, if you take a look at the way that's designed, it's done with the comic book dot style, which I like a lot. Like the old newsprint.
The next entire section is Grudge Match, which is, I think it's a story. And it's got some art in there of Solomon Grundy, but then you can skip down after Solomon Grundy to page...
Yeah, this is an example of play.
Page 54 is where hero creation starts.
Yeah, this is an example of play. I like examples of play. It's good that they have it, and there's a whole story with comic book panels on every page. Hey, it's Mr. Incredible.
It is. It's young Mr. Incredible, and his phone is ringing off the hook.
It's impressive because it's not plugged into anything.
Interesting. I think he might be being scammed or beat by a
Take that! I am the continuity police!
Speaking of telephones, there he is bursting out of a telephone booth.
So, origin, attributes, power, specialties, description, qualities, game master approval. Those are the lists. Those are the steps. I love that they add number 7.
He's also in Mutants and Masterminds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did both. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. The first thing is your origin. It says you can. Actually, it says that you will roll 2d6, but I assume they mean that you can.
5. Transformed. The hero was a normal human, but became superhuman through some outside agency, often an accident or experiment. One of the character's abilities of your choice, attribute powers increased by 2 to a maximum of 10.
Cool.
Nice. You want me to roll for you?
Sure.
9. Gimmick.
I've got a gimmick. The character's powers come from devices of some kind. One of the character's mental attributes is increased by +2. All right, so you get transformed. You get an attribute or power +2, and I get a mental attribute +2.
Interesting. They have a lot of interesting stuff. Artificial, the character's strength is increased by 2, and you have the life support power standard. Interesting. Unearthly, aliens, demons, angels, and devils, +2 to a power or attribute. Alternately, roll twice on this table, ignoring duplicates and results of 11 to 12. The character gets the effect of both origins.
Whoa.
Cool.
The next page talks about the level determination, how much power your character has, what your power level is. And this is funny too, because you can actually roll random here so that your group of superheroes may not have the same power level.
I obviously feel like this is optional.
It is. This one actually does say at the top that it's optional.
I have a power level of 6. Oh, no, I have a power level 4. And you have a power level of 6.
All right.
It's interesting.
Next is the attributes phase. I do like how quick and easy that was, too.
Yeah, it was bam, bam. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Next is the attributes phase. If your heroes total, roll once in the level determination table for each attribute and record. Where is the...
Oh, level determination is the one that we just rolled on.
Oh, okay. So that's how you get your... Oh, it's for each attribute.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay. That makes sense.
It does make sense. It's not like a huge point buy. It's for each stat. Okay. Next phase is powers, Jahan. This seems like this is what I really want to get into with a superhero system. The powers are a big part of why we're here in a supers game.
Yeah. I get 2, and you get 3.
Okay. Roll on the table, applying any modifiers of your origin. That's not for us yet. Yours might be, actually.
What do you mean?
Weren't you able to increase your number of powers from your origin?
I can increase the level of a power or an attribute.
Okay. Just a power.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see our power types here. Sensory. Hey, cool, I'm Daredevil.
Okay.
That's interesting. And you are a specialist of control.
I have a device that control powers. Okay.
You have a mind control helmet.
I have a mind control guy.
What's that guy's name? There's a guy, he has a mind control helmet, and he's a shit. And I love him. He looks so stupid. I can see him in my head. He's like purple with a big helmet. I don't remember.
kind of powers did you wind up rolling?
Sensory.
Sensory. Your powers, you can either roll to see what you get, or I can just read you the list of sensory powers.
Oh, there's different lists for each one. Yeah, I'll roll.
Okay. So your options are going to be detection, ESP, super senses, danger sense, interface, post-cognition, or precognition.
I have detection.
Detection. Okay.
Well, actually, all right. So I rolled a 1 to 3. So now I roll another d6. Yeah, detection.
All right. I rolled control for my powers. And didn't you roll 3 powers or something? You rolled 2.
We both get 2.
3.
Oh, no, you get 3, I get 2. But yeah, so control powers, I'll roll your d6. So 2, so you get it from the first section.
All right.
3, elemental control.
Element control item. And then so, I guess for the next powers, you would re-roll again, right, into the power type, because you may not have the same power type.
True.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about you being limited to one power type.
So my next power type is defense.
Okay, defense.
And yours is 7. Offense.
Oh, at least we're rolling different stuff.
Yeah, no, so far so good.
Are absorption, adaptation, force field, immortality, life support, reflection, regeneration, and resistance.
Immortality, fuck yeah!
Nice.
What the fuck? Alright, now I'm gonna roll for you. You have offense?
Yes, sir. And in offense, the different powers are affliction, binding, blast, strike, aura, dazzle, energy drain, fast attack, and stunning.
You have fast attack.
So, let's see. I'm a fast attack.
You have one more, though.
Fast attack with element control. Yes, alright, roll me one more.
2, mental.
Mental. Alright, the mental powers are astral projection, dream control, emotion control, illusion, images, mental blast, mind control, mind shield, and telepathy.
You have astral projection.
What a weird power set.
Yeah,
astral projection.
You have elemental control. Yeah. You're like some kind of mystic or shaman or something. Or like, I don't know. That's pretty cool. It's interesting. And obviously, you can pick these. I would not force anyone to roll because you can get weird stuff here. But, man oh man, has this been exciting and fun.
So, after seeing this section, I'm starting to get the feel of what this game is.
I think I'm a Highlander.
And I think that Vampire Bites was right earlier when they said this game seems campy. It's not just the art. I think almost by design, this game is easy to start, it's easy to play, and it's kind of a fun, campy, good time.
It does. Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I think that's what's going on here.
I think it can. I mean, it's all about how serious you take it, but it's almost... the rolling felt like Gamma World, which was fun. But... yeah, I think I'm a fucking Highlander, man. I have immortality and detection. So I can, like, sense other people with the quickening, which is funny. So, specialties. You get 4.
Damn. Okay.
And I get 3. Okay.
The specialties are a lot more like traditional skills that we would see in other systems. The specialties are aerial combat, art, athletics, business, drive, investigation, law, leadership, linguistics, martial arts, medicine, mental resistance, military, occult, performance, pilot, power, psychiatry, science, sleight of hand, stealth, technology, underwater combat, weapons, and wrestling.
Let's see, Gary. You have mental resistance.
That tracks.
You have aerial combat.
What is happening?
Well, I mean, you're an elemental controller, so it works. You have 6 and 2 technology.
Okay. Yep, that's for the helmet.
And 3 and 6 military.
Okay.
You're like a military experiment gone awry.
Yeah, I think I stole this helmet from a military project at a base I was on.
This is awesome. And then I get 3. 1 and 5 business. I've done well in my immortal life. 5 and 6 stealth. This is cool. I like what's happening here. And then 1 and 3 athletics. Okay. This works very well. I am almost Daredevil. Okay. Oh, wow, look at that guy. It looks like he's a janitor, but then someone rolled some dice.
Nice. That's my guy right there.
Nice. I like that this green guy is not blending in very well. It's funny.
Yeah, he's doing the thing that the thing does.
Phase 5, we're already at description. That seems like it's probably just what you want to look like.
It is. And the next part is qualities, which everyone gets 3, and it's kind of an open form. But they give you examples to make it not too general. Things like saying that your character is heroic or powerful are a little too broad. They're looking for things like chosen by the spirits or champion of Tuatha.
Secret sorceress, 6th age, chosen of the goddess of vengeance, dark defender, master of minds. Those are cool.
So this is what your these things, these qualities, you can gain advantages or you can basically give yourself disadvantage with these qualities during play of the game. And the game master can do the same thing. They can use your qualities against you. So the qualities are very open to interpretation.
So the quality, these are very powered by the apocalypse. These are tags. You're adding tags. I like it because, when we've talked about making a system, like having like a thing going on, but then adding tags on top of that to add that PB powered by the apocalypse is very cool. I like it.
Oh, look, you can point-based hero buy.
Fair. Okay, cool.
I was looking for this part. So after Phase 7, which is the Game Master approval, we know that you always end your character creation with Game Master approval. Sometimes you even start that way. There's an option on that page in the yellow box that is the point-based hero buy.
I like the random hero creation system and icons is intended as a source of inspiration, not frustration. Love that. Because what are we always talking about? Does the system itself inspire creativity? Yes, it does.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, you look at what you are.
Yeah, right? I'm not even sure what I am yet. It's creative as hell, though.
I'm an immortal, ninja. I'm an immortal business ninja. What?
So maybe I would, roll 3 characters and pick my favorite.
I think I'm Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, I think you might be Ra's al Ghul.
That's awesome. All right.
This is how to build a character. We found this same thing yesterday when we were looking at supers, which was once you figured out how to build a character, there was a page that broke it down in a very conversational way. That's what this is.
Yeah.
There is a cool page here, Jahan, on page 73. You can build a team.
What?
You can build a superhero team.
Creating a hero and icons is just the first step. Superhero comics are often based around teams, and that's I love team. I love team ups. I love them. I love them. I love the Justice League, Dark Justice League, Avengers. Man, it's all good. Superhero comics are often based around teams, and so in gameplay in Icons, the superhero team is the foundation of the series, with each of the players controlling one hero on the team. After the players have created their individuals, it is time to bring those characters together to form a team. I'm so excited. I'm like beyond hyped right now.
Yeah, but before we form a team, we have to go and be interns for a hero company for a semester.
Yeah, there you go. Team origin. Each team has an origin, how the team got together, and what made them decide to stay together. You collaborate on this, of course. Were they brought together by a major crisis, the work of an influential mentor, during duty to a nation, or machinations of a villain? Okay, how did your first adventure go? So these are just the basic questions that you need to ask. And then team qualities. That's the mechanical part of this. The team chooses up to 3 team qualities proposed and voted upon by the players. This is going to be a fun session 0. Agreement of the team qualities must be unanimous, so some discussion and compromise might be necessary. A team might choose a catchphrase like a rallying cry or epithet like world's greatest heroes or the explorers of the strange and unusual. Or a team motivation, such as furthering the cause of justice in the world. So yeah, very cool. And then these tags can then be used later by anyone on the team by spending determination points to activate them to add qualities to actions. This system's dope. All right.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
You get it?
Oh.
What are you owing?
Oh.
Team resources?
No. Team resources is pretty self-explanatory. That's like your Avengers base or your Batcave or something. No, in powers, well, first of all, there's power trappings, right? Which is flavor. What does it look like? So you get to decide what it looks like. You can name your powers. As you know, it's better to call your melee attack a Ghost Blade than Close Range Mind Blast every time. But it's actually underneath that. Underneath using your powers, there's a section called Extras. And in addition to your basic effects, your powers have one or more extras. The extras are crazy. These are the things that we were looking at yesterday in Supers that really attracted me to it, the perks and negatives of your powers. So the extras are things like your power affects others or affects X, broadcast, burst, contagious, defensive. There are all these things, rangeless, reversible, that your power can do as an extra. And then, besides the extras, are the limits. And the limits is where I said, oh. Because these limits are things that stop your powers, like animals only. Your power only affects animals.
You can make your powers contagious.
Yes, you can.
So limits, yeah, okay. As extras expand, oh my god. So it looks like you can really transmute all these powers into pretty much anything.
Yes, that is exactly correct. Why would you? You can use extras or create your own with your game master's permission. During hero creation, you have the option of substituting extras for rolled powers for a one-on-one basis.
Where is this?
It is on page 81 in the second paragraph, substituting extras. During hero creation, you have the option of substituting extras for rolled powers on a one-for-one basis. One extra for an existing power takes the place of one rolled power of the player's choice. Okay.
Yeah, so you could choose to drop one of the powers that you got to add contagion to your elemental control, or, stuff like that.
I might add passengers to my elemental control so we can float around in a cloud together.
Yeah, that's it. It sounds like you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very interesting.
Your power can go out to any distance provided you know the location. That could be fun for weather control too.
What's the point of limits?
Limits. So these, I would guess, you get more determination Let's see.
As extras expand powers, limits provide a means for narrowing the effects of a power in exchange for greater level, less impact on determination level, or more extras. When applying a limit to a power, you can also do one of the following. Subtract 1 from the power's value for reducing determination level. This can reduce a power's determination cost to 0, but not less than 0. You can add an extra to the power without increasing its determination cost. And you can increase the power's rolled level by 2 to a maximum of 10. Very interesting.
This game was really clean up until about 2 or 3 pages ago.
You think so?
They've added in a lot of things here that they're not complicated, but this is a lot.
They're not complicated. I think that this actually adds needed depth to this system.
I do too.
Yeah.
But the game was super, super easy and clean until
here. It was, but it sounds like the most complicated part is you're crafting your powers. And I think that's, honestly, that's like a very...
Yes.
I want my power crafting to be complex, because once you have it, that's it. You use it.
Well, and the crafting is just a 1-to-1 point buy, so it's not super complicated.
It's not super complicated.
They just added a lot of moving pieces. That's all I'm saying.
No, fair. Fair.
What's cool here next? Power descriptions. These I'm not going to read to you. These are just descriptions of the powers. It's cool. You can read a bunch of flavor. You can get a bunch of ideas. This goes on for.
And it tells you, it tells you how they work mechanically and stuff.
What does this go on for? 40 pages.
Yeah. Which one did I want to read? I was confused by detection. Detection is the ability to detect a specific thing, an energy, power, or presence at visual range with awareness equal to your detection level. Okay. So when you take detection, select a type of detection from the following, or make up one of your own: cosmic, emotion, energy, evil, magic, magnetic, power, radiation, or spirit. Interesting. Okay. As an extra, your detection is rangeless and can pick up and track sources over virtually any distance. The quickening. Yeah, you can make that the quickening, absolutely. I think I'm a Highlander, and I like it a lot.
Just like that, I'm a Highlander.
Just like that. They made me immortal, and I can detect something across the entire world. So these, they have a lot about these powers. I did want to give the powers another look, just to, like, see what is possible. You know, because that's one of our determining factors in this is, you know, how far can we take this? Can we make anything?
Yeah, can they done it?
Extra body parts is a good one. That adds a lot to the game, because you can do carapace, claws, extra arms, extra legs, tail, tentacles, and wings. And
I'll spit alternate form real quick, too. Alternate form, you can go energy form, explosive form, fluid form, gaseous form, shadow form, or solid form.
With those two alone, they covered, like, half of the X-Men.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, let me say this real quick, because this is everybody else, you know?
Gadgets, growth, healing, illusion. It looks like they have it covered, man.
Binding, burrowing, everyone's favorite, dazzle, in case you want to play Jubilee.
Immortality means I do not age and cannot die. It just flat out says I cannot die.
Okay.
Subtract your power level from 10 for the number of hours it takes you to return to life. So at Immortality 10, you recover on the next page. That's hilarious. Oh, man. Holy crap. I like that. I did not see immortality in any of the other books that I can recall that we've read.
I like post-cognation as a power. I think it would be really funny to just take one...
Captain Hindsight?
And, never take another one. Just one.
Captain Hindsight is... You can make Captain Hindsight. That gives this that gives this point. It sounds silly that we're saying that, but one of our categories is options. What can you make?
Man.
No, there is immortality, Vampire. There is immortality in this system. Yeah, Yeah, so they have magic. Awesome. This doesn't look like it's as complicated as Magic and Supers. At all. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, but they don't have vampirism as a power in this one.
They don't. You're not wrong. But there was energy drain.
Yeah, which I'm sure is the exact same thing with a different flavor.
I could argue. Yeah. Because that could be your flavor. You got to bite people. They have mimicry, animal, material, plant, and power.
You're exactly right. You gain stamina and you take their stamina, so it is a health drain.
It is literally, yeah. Yes, you can be an immortal energy drainer of vampire bites and become a vampire in that you can become Morpheus? Why can't I say his name? I know his name.
Mobius?
Mobius. No, that's the strips.
What?
A Mobius strip.
Morbius?
Morbius, yeah. There you go. Mind control, mind shield. Yeah, so it looks like they have phasing, nullification. They're running the gamut. Post-cognition's hilarious.
Post-cognition is hilarious.
Yeah, Morbius, yeah.
If you take lots and lots of levels in post-cognition, it's useful, but if you only take one level, it's hilarious. Because you just barely could do it. You could just barely figure out the thing.
Oh, no, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Guessing. There is a whole section. There are lots of whole sections about devices here.
Ooh, servant. I like that.
Servant? Where did you find servant?
Yes.
Is that a power?
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Servant can create or summon a servant or minion. It takes a page of preparation to summon your servant, which appears within close range. You must concentrate to command your servant. You have a pool of points equal to 4 times your power level with which to buy the servant's abilities. Prowess, strength, coordination, and the powers each cost 1 point per level. Offensive, defensive, and movement powers are common for servants, although they can have any powers allowed by the game master. That's so cool. Alright. I'm impressed. I like these powers. I can see why everyone was telling us to check out icons. Like, this was a very highly requested stream for us.
Well, so now I'm going to scroll back up and see if I can. I was going to see if I could use an extra to take servant and then duplicate so I could have more servants. And if you can do that. There's an extra called effect. Your power can duplicate the effect of another power at its level. The extra is normally listed as the name of the duplicated power, such as flight, yada yada. So what I would do is ask you if I could duplicate an extra and then use that effect to have my extra duplicate an extra. So there would just be duplicate me's and duplicate me's. Probably.
Yeah, I'm fine with multiple man. I think it's a really cool power set.
And then you could also... Is there a multiple man power on top of that?
Oh, man, you can be straight up... what's his name? Alchemy from the X-Men. Transmutation. They have it. What were you saying?
I wonder if they actually have a multiply somewhere else. But I don't see one, actually.
A lot of times they put that in with stuff.
I wonder...
It might be considered servant, but it doesn't seem quite right.
No, servant's not quite right. I was just trying to see if I could make an infinite loop of summoning.
I don't think you do infinite, but yeah, you should be able to do multiple man. If you can't do that, that's weird for a power set that they have here.
I don't see it, but it doesn't mean that I'm right. I just don't see it right now.
I'm looking for it.
What about duplicate? Is that
duplication.
Okay.
Duplication can produce duplicates of you up to your power level. Yep, there you go. They have a whole power. Yep. I was going to say, that's a weird one to be missing.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, man. Do we need to read any more?
I don't think so. Do you want to just scroll through and see what we haven't seen yet?
Yeah, let me hide it from stream so that
we were at devices, and that was stuff like armor and vehicles and utility belts and shields. There's nothing in here that you need to know to play this game, though. But
Yeah, they do have a gadget section.
Specialties? What is specialties? Specialties, we figured out earlier that specialties are like skill trainings. So here they list some specialties like you might be an expert, a specialist in blades or bows or investigation or painting. These ones are very freeform, and you pick your specialty.
Team devices. It's cool. Yeah, specialties. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the action order, how to actually play the game.
Yeah.
Maneuvers. There's a lot of really cool. I mean, maybe not cool stuff. There's a lot more stuff in here that is broken down. How the skills work, how you move, how your turns work, and then it gets kind of back to the example stuff of play examples.
Yeah.
I thought I saw a really cool castle, and so I have to scroll back up.
No, I'm looking.
Tell me if you see that dope-ass castle. There it is. There it is. Page 155.
Huh. Lots of cool stuff. Yeah, there's a lot in here. There's a lot of examples, which is always good. Yep, there's Dracula's castle.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the picture on the next page is really cool.
Yeah, with like the big purple guy with the electric-y brain.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, man, that's a really cool one. Yeah.
I'm going to show that one. That's the game mastering section. All right. So game mastering sections in books are typically
where we stop.
It's not necessary for the verdict. It's usually just advice in how to run the game in the setting.
Hey, before we quit, go down page 168 real quick. I think you're going to love this as a game master. This is the 2 chart how to make a plot.
Nice.
You roll a d6 and you figure out what your villain is doing, and then you roll a d2 or a d6 again, and you figure out who he's doing it to.
There's also an entire villain creation section.
Yes, this is part 2 of the villain creation section. This is choosing your villain's plot.
See how hard it is to make a villain here. No, I don't see it.
What do you mean you don't see it?
Where's the villain creation?
167.
Okay.
That's where it starts. So to create a villain, you're gonna do.
Oh, you just do the random rolls like you do for a player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that was actually very easy.
And then you add complications to them, and that's all.
Okay.
But I think that plot element's cool. You want to roll 2d6 real quick just so we can see if this is as cool as I think it is?
Yeah. Let me know what I get here.
Yep.
Do I add them?
No, but you're going to do the roll and then roll again thing.
5 and then 2.
Okay, 5 and 2. So your villain is going to conquer and then roll 2 again.
2 and 1.
2.
The mall?
He's going to conquer your rival.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. You have to go help out a rival team.
Yeah, because the villains are about to conquer them, and probably what the villains are going to do is way worse than what they should do.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's cool. I like the way that works. I don't have anything else, I think, to see in this system. I guess it's time to rate icons. We have 5 particular categories we've been rating these games in: system, art and visual, their options, the complexity, and the setting and theme of the game. So forgive my bald head for a minute while I look straight down and figure out how to rate this game.
Yeah, so we do system, which is the breakdown of just the system itself, how good we think it is, how it expresses actions in the world, just how good the rules are and the system and how unique it is. Then there's a visual, which is art and like layout, organization, that kind of thing. Then we also have options, which is like, what can you make? How far can you take this? How much leeway do you have in your character creation and even in your storytelling? And then complexity is how easy this is to learn and teach. So a higher score in complexity is actually better. That 10 means it's easy to learn and teach. 1 means it's a garbled mess that no one can decipher. And then setting is how the lore is, how the theme is. And, you know, the theme in this is pretty good. Why are you making faces?
Because I was surprised at what rating this got.
Is it low?
No. No, it isn't. It was higher than I thought it would be, and that's weird to me, and I had to go back and make sure my numbers were right. And they are.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to have such a high
What did you
review.
put for system?
For system, it's actually... this is a bit telling. System is my lowest score on this game. I gave it a 7 on the system. It is pretty much just a D6 system. And that's it.
Yeah, I gave it...
it's definitely simple, but it's not doing anything cool or new or fresh.
I gave it an 8. I feel that the system very well reflects the content. I feel like the rules are very good for superheroes, including like the pyramid test. I loved that, and I just love the way tests work in general. I love the minion rules. I love how simple character creation can be. I can make a character to fight you or to meet you in 5 seconds. I like it. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I think that the system almost suffers from the simplicity of the game. The complexity, I thought, is great. It's very easy to do, but the system suffers for that.
So that reason is why it has 2 less points than a 10. You just took off more than I did by 1. Which is fair. I'm not going to argue with the 7. The 7 is a fair score.
We're always pretty close.
Yeah.
Where did you go for art and visual on this?
I went with a 7.
What? Man, we differed here. I went with a big, fat 9.
Yeah, so the organization is good. And the art is pretty good. I'm not like, wow, look at the art. I don't know. It was fine. And no offense to anybody, it's good. I would be happy to have this in a book I wrote. It's just not. It's not a coffee table book. You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, get it for the art. You know.
I have never, ever laughed out loud at a picture I saw in a tabletop role-playing game before.
I laughed at a few of them.
Yeah, man, there were some real winners.
There were some great ones, but there's also some crappy ones.
There were and then the layout. To your point, all the powers were where they should be. Everything was in a logical order.
They had concise pages
it was explained and re-explained later. There were some really fun tables, and so for art and visual here, where you said you gave them a 7,
I gave them a 7.
I gave them a 9.
Okay, no, that's fair. I'm not going to argue with it. I almost gave them an 8 on visual. I liked it, but I feel like I just felt like some of them weren't that great. And it just took off some points for it, you know? The layout is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
The layout is fantastic. Options. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
You can make anything, pretty much. It has pretty much everything represented, and well, I think.
And it seems like you just... the actual... doing it, the actual options you have, it's just like give up 1 power and then you get 1 boost for your power. And then those boosts basically solved all the other questions I had.
Yeah, like if you were wondering where a power was, you can make it.
That's exactly right. Because I was kind of curious.
And also, almost every page, like at least every section, has optional rules. A lot of them, and I like that. Complexity.
Yeah, lots of options. You're right about that. Complexity. I did an 8 for complexity.
Did a 9 out of 10. It's so easy. I feel like so we read a lot of systems. I feel like I know this one inside and out already. Like, this system is very easy, and I don't feel like it's because it's I don't think it's because it lacks so much complexity. I think it's just explained very well in a very smart order. They teach you just enough rules to understand what your numbers mean. They help you make your character, and then they explain things in depth. And it's all very... I never felt lost. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you're right. Everything was just right where it should have been. When they introduced a new thing, it was next door. The complexity for me, I think, is... it's definitely not a hard game. It's not a hard game at all. And especially if you're using pre-gen sheets and the people that you're playing with just have to roll the d6 and add a number. That's about as easy as it gets. Where complexity does come in here is almost in the freedom of the design, the having to pick what your tags and stuff are and what your group can do. Whenever you have every option, it's almost overwhelming.
I can get that.
Like having those choices. I really like that free form, but it stumps some people if they don't have a list of skills to pick from.
That is fair.
I like the game. I like it. I give it an 8. I think that's a fat score.
It's fair.
Which brings me to setting and theme. And I would be willing to guess that there's no way you didn't give them a 10 for setting and theme.
I gave them an 8.
Whoa! I gave them a 10. I went all the way.
I love the way they explain things as a comic book. Mm-hmm. I love that. It's fantastic. I love the way the rules reflect the theme. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. I mean, they could get into it more, and there could be more stuff going on.
I loved the verbiage of calling them frames and calling them issues and referring to losing a turn as losing a frame.
I do too.
A lot of the verbiage throughout was super fun. The setting and the theme, I think they do a great job giving you this superhero feel with all your options. They didn't have the part of Cypher system that I liked so much, where it tells you like the different genres and how to make it feel that way. So for that, I probably should have given them a 9 instead of a 10. But I'm going to stick with my 10. I liked it.
I gave them my 8 because so there's no, I didn't see like an adventure.
So there is an adventure.
Is there?
Yes, there is.
Where's that one?
It was right in the middle. It was that Solomon Grundy looking thing, I believe.
I think that was just a example of play.
The grudge match?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'll double check, because that will bump my score up.
I think it is an adventure, but I don't know. I don't see any like stats. I just see story.
No, this is a play-by-play of rules.
Okay.
Because it is GM. Okay, in her secret identity, and then it says Miss Tykal. Is this? So it tells everybody's part. So you read it as people talking, and it's just an example of play. I did not see.
What I was looking at was the PDF grudge match, which is a second PDF, and it might come free with the system. It is only 6 pages.
Oh, hey, look at that. This could be. Yeah, it does. So that is a 6-page adventure, it looks like.
So they have something to get you started.
They do. It's not in the main book, and it's fine. It's not. I didn't take out. It was only taking it from a 9 to an 8 for me. They would have gotten that extra point if there was. Yeah, it's fine. Look, I think an 8.
You would have given them a 9, and then I would have changed my 10 to a 9. So you keeping your 8 and me keeping my 10 keeps it the same balance anyway. So yeah, it's fine.
So all in all, I gave it 8.2.
8.2. Wow. I gave it an 8.6. So that should be 8.4.
8.4.
Right? Yes, sir.
So,
8.
the highest rated game so far in our Super Series on Superhero Games Icons.
Wow.
8.4. I mean, people were telling us. The game creator told us. Everybody told us to play this. Check it out. Icons, the highest rated superhero game so far. It's beaten out quite a few.
I totally wasn't expecting that at all.
Me neither. I wasn't this game. I love this game. This game is fantastic. I'm glad that Rise of Bases earlier said he was gonna buy it right away, or they. I don't know. But yeah, it's wow. I'm happy with the way that turned out. I feel like those scores are very accurate.
So if I'm not mistaken, I have some numbers written down. Cypher System was a 6.8. Supers was a 7.4, which tied Mutants and Masterminds for a 7.4. And then Icons has a full 1 point lead at an 8.4 right now.
Yes.
We have some more systems to look at, but this is a pretty overwhelming surprise to me. This is an underdog that kind of came out of nowhere. We still need to look at City of Mists. We would still love to look at Masked, but Magpie Games seems to have blocked our email address.
I'm going to email them again about it. We'll see how that goes.
There's Tiny Supers by Gallant Knight Games that we plan on taking a look at. Those are just a few of them, right? Those are at least 3 more.
Tiny Supers, I actually have high hopes for. The stuff, a friend of the show, Alan Barr, has sent us Tiny Supers. We just asked offhand, and he just sent them right to us. It looks really cool. I am interested, very interested in that. But yeah, so Icons. Wow.
Wow.
Well done. You got anything to say?
No, just follow us every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. We're fresh out the box, and you can find us playing tabletop games and board games and reading games, as well as interviewing people from the gaming community, whether it's video games or tabletop board games. Also, we have a podcast called Fresh Out the Podcast, where we talk about movies and games and trailers and all sorts of stuff coming out. You can follow us on all the social medias, on Spotify, on Apple, on all that, if you want to just hear more of us doing things. As usual, you can find me at CasualtyCDG on all of the social medias.
And you can find me at RockFact on Twitter, at Johanan1 on TikTok. Thank you so much for being here and watching, and we hope that this helps you pick your superhero game. Stay fresh.
Crash out the